Welcome everybody, thanks so much for coming down today and checking out this little bass demo for Catalinbread. They got a new fuzz pedal called the Giygas. Works great for bass. It's a 3-transistor design. We're going to put this thing through its paces and hopefully give you a good idea of what it sounds like. 3-transistor, 3 megohm input impedance, which I love about it. That means for us bass players, if you're plugging straight in, it's going to give you a real wide open sound, no loading on the pickups. The only piece of gear I got that kind of input impedance is that Avalon U5 DI, which is like $600 DI. So it's a really well-designed circuit. So let's check this thing out. All right, you guys, I just got to show you something real quick here. When this thing shows up in the box, it's flipped into guitar mode. So you're going to want to flip the switch over to bass mode. And so you take the back cover off. In the lower left-hand corner, there's a guitar or bass switch. Just click it on over to bass. I'll explain in the features and controls section what exactly this is doing. Also note that in the upper left-hand corner, you got a trim pot. So that's a 40 hertz trim pot. So that's pretty critical for us bass players to know it's there as well. So that's booster cut 10 dB at 40 hertz. So I opened it up just a little bit for the demos because I wasn't sure how it was going to interact with the EQ and tone controls, because it does have some interaction there. From the company, out of the box, it ships with it all the way down. So anyway, that's it. You fast forward to the sounds part if you want, or listen to the features and controls if you want to hear about what they do. All right, you guys, let's go over the features and controls on this thing real quick here. This is super straightforward. EQ and mids work in conjunction with each other. They're both center detent at the top, and so they're notched at the top. EQ and mids are both 10 decibel cut or boost filters. In guitar mode, they're at 900 hertz. In flip down to bass mode, they're at 250 hertz. And what that enables you to do is really kind of able to boost, similar frequency ranges on both and get really radical, or cut a lot of frequencies on both, or you can go against each other. But there's a lot of tonal option in the mid range, which on a fuzz pedal, to me, the mids are where the bulk of the tone is coming from. Blend control is great. For us bass players, we're able to dial that back and have more direct signal coming through, which is always helpful. Or you can crank that thing up and let it be more radical. Fuzz is, the amount of fuzz into the signal. It's a fuzz level control, but it's dependent on your EQs. So when these are opened up, look out, because the fuzz gets extremely radical. And loud is like a volume control. It's the output of the pedal is kind of how I look at it. And, this pedal throws a lot of gain. And there's a lot of guitar players that like to smash the front end of their preamps. And so this has that ability, in a recording situation. If you wanted to kind of crush the front end of your SVT or something, you're able to do some of that kind of stuff with this pedal, or dial it back for a live situation. But there's a lot of tonal options with this thing. They kind of left no stone unturned in the design of the circuit deliberately. And so let's check out some sounds on this thing. I've got the EQ, mids, blend, everything is just up about half. I've got the volume backed off just a little bit here. So that's just everything half. Now, if you back EQ off just a little bit, it really warms things up. I love that sound right there. Now, if you can get even more. Love it. So the more that you back off the EQ, the bottom end seems to get way more pronounced. And I don't know if that has something to do with the fact that I jacked up that 40 hertz trim pot on the back. So let's check out the mid. nasty. Put that back at half. Try going the other way with the mids. Sounds kind of nice and balanced right there. Put that on back. Now, always the cool thing about the blend control is that you're able to, you can get kind of nasty with it. Bring out the volume. Now if you back the blend off, the cool thing is you're able to get more of that original bass tone in there. You can leave just a little bit, get kind of just an amp drive sound. Bring that on up. Try it with the fuzz pulled way back. Alright you guys, thank you so much for checking this video out. I had a blast making it. Hopefully it gives you some idea what this thing sounds like. I know it's always hard on videos to tell whether it's going to work for you or not, but this is a great fuzz pedal for bass. It lets a lot of low end through, which is something I love about it. Ton of versatility. I think it's definitely worth checking out.